I knew there was a reason I stopped getting hyped for games. This is Kritika. Kritika. I don't care how it's pronounced. And by the end of this video, you won't give a f either. With that ringing endorsement, let me say that Kritika isn't a terrible game, just terribly disappointing. I was kinda looking forward to this one when I heard about it. An anime-styled action combat MMO. Sounds pretty good. What could possibly go wrong? Let's start from the beginning. The first thing up is to create a character. You'll choose from one of 4 classes: the warrior, the rogue, the gun mage, and the reaper. By the way, these are actual characters. By that I mean every warrior is going to look like pretty much every other warrior, and so on. I only bring this up because they are gender locked, and this game comes with 2 giant scoops of fan service, as pretty much every female appears to have basketballs strapped to their chest. Upside, they are convenient staff holders. And no, that's not a euphemism. Apparently. Oh boy. Each class has a few subclasses that can be chosen at level 15, which you'll get a small preview of. That's kinda nice, I like that. It helps me choose which base class I want to pick. I decided on Gun Mage because a mage that uses guns seems pretty freaking awesome. So far this is okay, right? Sadly, the good can only last so long. In this case, about 2 minutes, as character customization in Kritika is lacking to say the least. Pick from a few preset options for hair, face, clothing color, and that's about it. You know, the words "that's about it" covers a lot of this game, so get used to it. From here, you're immediately thrown into the action, which sounds a lot cooler than it actually is. Okay, I will give Kritika its due. Combat is enjoyable and the combat animations are decent. That's about it. You'll left-click for your normal attack, and hit number keys for special attacks. My character also had a finishing move that was activated by right-clicking. As I said, it all feels pretty good, except just about every attack stuns your enemies, meaning they'll never move or provide any sort of challenge, thereby making combat feel almost meaningless. And despite enemies being almost absolutely no threat, sometimes they take forever to kill. Just look! Pew, 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 pew. 3, 2, 1. Where's the fun in this? My biggest issue with the game is also very apparent from the get-go. Let's get something straight here. I want to like Kritika. I do, but I can't. Why? Well, this is 2017, or some subsequent year. MMOs with open worlds have been out for decades. And while I do love me a good open world, I do understand the need for some MMOs to be instanced. It's not my favorite thing, but I get it. It's fine, whatever. That said, most of these instanced MMOs have zones that are fairly large and can still provide an immersive experience. Kritika has a zone every 30 feet. See this map? Each one of these tiny areas is a zone. It's like if you had to zone each time you move to a different room of your house. What the f***? Why? This is 2017! Surely there was a way to make this whole instance one map rather than 7 small ones. I can maybe understand having a separate zone for the boss battle, but why for everything else? Heck, the loading screens aren't even loading screens, just a quick fade to black and then you're back in. Why couldn't you have just made this one seamless area? I find this pretty inexcusable as it comes off as lazy. This single thing absolutely destroyed any hopes I had for the entire game within the first 15 minutes. Now, you could argue that I'm just being picky, and that these zones are part of the gameplay loop, as you have to clear out all the enemies in one area to move on to the next. And to that I'd say, why the f*** are you defending this? Put this game in an open world, or just make these areas bigger and seamless, and this game would come off 1,000 times better. Instead, this feels like a mobile game that was ported to PC. In fact, I googled this just to make sure it wasn't. It wasn't. There are other Kritika games on mobile devices, but this is in fact a PC game. Okay, rant off. So, here's how the game works. You will pick up quests in a hub area. Typically, they're almost all for the same instance. So move to the portal here, select an instance, pick a difficulty, and then do it. Return to your hub, turn in quest, repeat. That's about it. You will pick up equipment on your missions, which you can then choose to equip, sell, or scrap for parts. These parts you'll then use to upgrade your current equipment. That's about it! I forced myself to play until level 15, where I finally got to turn my gun mage into a warp mage, which was pretty cool. But all it did was remind me how fun this game could be if it didn't feel half-assed. With that, I had to stop. I want to like this game, I really do. I enjoy the combat, but I feel there's better games out there. I do feel like this one has potential if they could just make the areas more open and give it some immersion. Until then though, that's about it. And that was Kritika. Man, now I really want to play basketball. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. I've also put another video for you to watch right up here. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook. And if you really want to help the channel, you can donate to me on Patreon like these other amazing people. Let's get them some staff holders if you catch my drift.